Exodus chapter 38. And he made an altar for a whole burnt offering from out of incorruptible wood. Of 5 cubits was the length, and 5 cubits the breadth. The altar was 4-cornered, and its height was 3 cubits. And he made the horns. Upon the 4 corners of it were the horns, and he covered them in brass. And he made a rim to the altar, and its lid, and its bowls, and its meat hooks, and its censer, and all its utensils he made of brass. And he made for it a latticed brass grate work. And he made for the grate 4 rings of brass upon the 4 sides, and he placed them under the grate of the altar from below. And the grate was unto half the altar. And he made the bearing poles to the altar from out of incorruptible wood, and he brass-plated them in brass. And he inserted the bearing poles at the sides of the altar in the lifting it. He made it hollow-planked. And he made the brass bathing tub, and the brass base of it, from out of the mirrors of the women that fasted, who fasted by the doors of the tent of the testimony. And he made the courtyard, the things towards the south, shrouds for the courtyard, from out of linen being twined, 100 by 100, and their posts 20, and their 20 brass bases, and their hooks and their clips were of silver. And the side towards the north was 100 by 100, and their posts 20, and their 20 brass bases. And their hooks and their clips were of silver. And the side towards the west, curtains of 50 cubits, their posts 10, and their bases 10, and their hooks and their clips were of silver. And the side towards the east 50 cubits, the shrouds of 15 cubits according to the back, and their posts 3, and their bases 3. And upon the back of the second, on this side and that side, according to the gate of the courtyard, curtains of 15 cubits, and their posts 3, and their bases 3. All the curtains for the tent were from out of linen being twined. And the bases of their posts were of brass, and their loops were of silver, and their tips being silver-plated in silver, and the posts being silver-plated in silver, all the posts of the courtyard. And the veil of the gate of the courtyard, a work of an embroiderer, from out of blue and purple and scarlet being spun, and linen being twined. 20 cubits was the length, and the height and breadth 5 cubits, being made equal to the shrouds of the courtyard. And their posts 4, and their bases 4 were of brass, and their loops were of silver, and their tips being silver-plated in silver. And all the stanchions of the courtyard round about were of brass. And this was the arrangement of the tents of the testimony, as was given orders to Moses for the ministration to be of the Levites, through Ithamar the son of Aaron, the priest. And Bezaleel the son of Uri, from out of the tribe of Judah, made as the Lord gave orders to Moses. And Aholiab the son of Ahisamach, from out of the tribe of Dan, who supervised construction, the woven works, and the stitched works, and the embroideries, woven in the blue and purple, and scarlet being spun, and linen. All the gold which was manufactured for the works, according to all the work of the holies, was of the gold of the firstfruit, 29 talents, and 730 shekels, according to the holy shekel. And of the silver, and the choice portion offering from the men being numbered of the congregation, 100 talents, and 1,775 shekels, 1 drachma per head, the half shekel, according to the holy shekel, for everyone passing into the numbering, from a son 20 years and up, for the 60 10,000s and 3,550. And it came to pass 100 talents of silver for the molten casting of the tips of the tent, and for the tips of the veil. 100 tips for the 100 talents, a talent to the tip. And 1,775 shekels he made for the loops for the posts, and he gilded their tips, and adorned them. And the brass of the choice portion offering was 370 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And they made from out of it the bases of the door of the tent of the testimony, and the altar of brass with its grate, and all the utensils of the altar, and the bases of the courtyard round about, and the bases of the gate of the courtyard, and the stanchions of the tent, and the stanchions of the courtyard round about.